Can you walk me through about the technologies that you have worked throughout your career?
Okay, so I started my career as a designer. I was a guy who was working on Photoshop and HTML, CSS in the beginning. So for a couple of years, I work as a template designer, developer, or coder. Then gradually I moved towards the Java query since the evolution of jQuery had happened. And since then, I work on different frameworks, different library of JavaScript that includes Knockout, jQuery, AngularJS, Angular, React, and different libraries, Bootstrap, Material UI, and the Tailwind. So these are the few things.
Mm-hmm. Right. And do you have any working experience with the backend technologies?
Yes, for a couple of years in different projects, I work in Node.js along with Mongoose. Yes.
Mhm. So, what is your expertise area of what is your expertise domain where you feel yourself that you're master into it?
That belongs to front end, of course.
Okay, and how comfortable you are with front end?
But yeah, very much. Very comfortable.
All right. So, can you brief me about the projects that you have worked and what is the intensity and the strength of those projects?
So mostly I work with service-based industry.
Mm-hmm.
So I work on fixed budget projects and in time and material as well.
Mm-hmm.
So both kind of projects I have worked. So of course in projects we face time bound pressure. The team must work longer hours and a dedicated team is required. BFSI is the domain where I spend most of the time. Almost 70% of my throughout my career, I work either with the private investor or a private investment bank or any bank and insurance companies. So primarily, I work with those. Few projects like I work for Adidas and I work for these gaming for micro gaming. So a few years I spent with these two companies.
And do you have any experience working with the product-based companies?
No, but I work for them, but from client perspective. But I haven't worked with any product-based company on their own payroll. No.
Okay. So let's discuss a bit about React patterns and best practices. So can you give me what are the some of the common React design patterns and best practices that you follow to ensure maintainability, scalability, and the code quality in your projects?
Okay, so that primarily starts with the state management thing, or with the help of Redux toolkit we are working with.
Mhm.
Of course, the Thunk is the middleware the team is working with, and the best practices are, of course, the lazy loading is there. There are several hooks so we can use memo, use callback, and the optimization is there. Lighthouse is the tool. There is another tool. Sonar Cube is there. So we have tools to look at the leakage and try to fix those. And of course we do cover lots of use cases, test cases, and 80% is the threshold in UTs we are targeting for. The quality gates are set there. Overall, it uh, brings the desired output under the given scenarios.
Okay, so in terms of as you said, the state management, can you tell me a couple of advanced management states in React?
Advance.
Means like if any state managements in React, can you name them?
So Redux is there. So Redux do provide a complete life cycle of any state,
Mhm.
and state are mutable. So we do mutate those state, and try to fetch it. The selector use selector is there, via connect we connect and trigger the action, and then reducer where the logic is there, and then it talk to the state, update the state, and we grab the state. So this is how we use, nothing like advanced.
And what is how about like MobX? Have you used this library?
No, no. I heard about it, but never look at it.
And the context API?
Yeah, context API is already there. It is part of hook. So so if you do not wish to implement a complete a library like Redux, context API is there. So people try to go ahead with context API. Then eventually, if they need it, then they work with the this Redux. Otherwise, they both work on the same mechanism.
So can you explain me like performance optimization and how lazy loading works?
So lazy loading works with the suspense, and it does not load the component directly, and these lazy and the suspense provided by the React, from the React module we fetch it, and we pass it in some variable, the lazy keyword using, and pass the component path. So whenever the component loads, it loads, but not immediately. So maybe the lazy loading will take place in some component. So whenever component loads, then only the lazy loaded component will be loaded.
So what is the benefit of using this?
So you have certain bandwidth, you have limitations, network issues are also there. We cannot keep dangling user for few more milliseconds, so it will reduce that time. So rather than running parallelly, we try to load it sequentially, and we can prioritize what will load first and what will load second, and we can set the priority. And if it is not required, it will never be loaded.
Okay. During this time, have you worked with like any event-driven applications?
Event driven applications, just give me one example, sir.
Like you have real-time data updates event when you trigger an event and as soon as something happens on the application.
No, no, no,
Like you have Zomato
got it.
and Uber.
So I work primarily on with the bankers, and there it goes in batches. So the time is there, 5 o'clock the batch will trigger. So this is how, and we do test in that environment only. Before I consider a UAT environment, it works like that. So we wait, okay, 5 o'clock the things will trigger.
And how about like working with any events like uh, Kafka or any such technologies?
No, no, no.
RabbitMQ.
No, no. I have read about it, but no, because most of the time some DevOps guys or the backend team was looking into it. Because with Node.js you sit somewhere in the middleware. You never touch the real backend. So that is the limitations with me.
Okay.
That is not my profile.
Sockets.
Sockets, I know I have done POCs. Again, there is no actual implementation with WebSockets.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But yes, I have done the POCs and all.
With sockets, right?
Yes. So either creating the chat engine or transmitting, broadcasting the messages from the server to the client. Those I have done.
So can you explain me the PubSub model?
So PubSub is very much where you publish something, and when the subscriber will subscribe, then it will again it will receive the events, and then further it will do whatever it is subscribed for.
Mm-hmm.
It is like in RxJS. In fact, Angular 2 point something was using that PubSub model. Yeah, but then RxJS come and observables replace those things. But yes, I had done those PubSub design pattern. I have worked on that.
All right. How much you're comfortable with, with designing the screens like Figma and Adobe?
I can design, but I am not good with the colors and the shapes. I can design those things. The user experience I can improve. Work on the Figma. I had done Zeppelin. I have worked with, but not with the colors and the shapes. So I am very bad in those. Almost boxy models pops up whenever I try to design. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yes, user flow I can work with.
When you assign, suppose you have to work on a particular screen, right? And so how will you do the evaluation that how much time do you take to complete that screen?
So first of all, you need to look at the screen, check what the business analyst has defined the scopes for that user story. I,
Mm-hmm.
and if it is a part of MVP, so just stick to that. But keeping in mind that what will be the further further output. So in upcoming MVPs, so try to create one small, a very small POC for a screen, and try to think, okay, for example, graphs are there. So you need to check what utility libraries I may use, graph modules I can use, are they cater our needs. So those things, those should not be blocker in future MVPs. Probably one MVP it is set, but in upcoming MVPs it may be problem. So you need to address those issues. So solution you are providing, it has to be scalable and yeah, and fit for our tailor-made requirement.
And how would you how do you look the scalability part that
Right. As I said, it is part of your planning. What future MVPs are holding for that. So, let's say for login, login is there, username and password is there, for example. Now, in future sprints, I am asking for two-way authentication as well, right? So we have to design our back end and the front end so that they are they're technically they are ready to absorb those changes in future screen. So you have to talk to business analysts, the person who is writing the user stories, and of course the product manager. So these two people will be the key. And because we don't have to handle everything, it should be scalable, and that's fine, but it should not be too much scalable that you are putting more efforts than what it is required.
okay. Authentications, which authentications basically you work with?
Some JSON Web Token,
Mm-hmm.
altogether, yeah.
And do you have any experience working with Cognito?
Cognito, mm, but here I'm able to recall right now the incognito mode. The cognito, no, I haven't worked.
Okay, that's basically AWS Cognito.
No, I haven't worked with that service. Every project was people are working on Azure. Some previously it was AWS, so I'm also confused where to focus right now. So
So what is the experience working with AWS?
AWS, I have worked with 5 6 services. The S3 bucket for CDNs and our static asset deployment I have used. I can create EC2 instances. The load balancer I have worked with. And there's one route 53 or 54 route, that service I have worked. I know how to configure and creating the domain and subdomain.
Yeah, sorry. All right. So, and how about Jira?
Zero Confluence, yes, these are vital part.
Mhm.
Bitbucket or GitLab, those repos as well, along with the
How
Zira
about,
and Confluence.
and how much you're comfortable with the Git commands?
Good. I can do a basic command, merging the branches, stash pop out, creating new branches. So those things I can do in Git, rebase, yeah.
And what is Squash, if I ask you?
Question, Git,
Squash, yeah.
yeah, no, I haven't worked on those commands.
All right. This is from my side, Vinith. We'll shortly will have another round of interview as well. Nicole, do you have any questions?
Yes, just a second. Vinit, can you please tell me if you worked with GraphQL?
Yes, we are working with GraphQL.
Okay. And also about Jest, do you know?
Yes, we do write unit test cases.
Okay. And tell me something. Do you work with Figma or only with Zeppelin?
No, but I work with Figma. I work with Figma. In previous projects, it was Zeppelin, but Zeppelin was primarily for sharing the assets. Of Figma is, I believe, more powerful.
Okay. Thank you. That's all from my side.
Thank you.
All right. Just one last question, Vinith. Like, do you have any experience working with Docker containers and all?
Yes, ask me.
Okay, so you're good with Dockers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And CI/CD pipelines.
Oh, with Jenkins?
Yeah, Bitbucket and mm, yeah, with Jenkins, if I say that.
Yes.
Okay.